welcome to Finding Myself Through Obesity. I'm so glad that you came back for another episode. Thank you so much for supporting me on this journey. It has been amazing, but it's also been kind of crazy. And I've been really working on being patient with myself. So at the very beginning of my journey, I did a lot of healing work. I did like energy work, and I was so stuck on feeling that my husband was the problem. If I could fix my husband, or if our circumstances could be better in our marriage and in my relationship, that everything would work out in my life. And so since meeting Angel, I realized that it wasn't my husband's problem, that it was my problem, and that there were things that I needed to learn, but I wasn't willing to look at. And so now I put that lie on the shelf that everything's his fault. I'm starting to see myself, and I'm starting to see what I did. And I'm kind of moving from feeling that I'm a victim of him to being a victim of myself in a way where I feel guilty for how just the kind of wife that I have been to him when I know that he deserved better, but also knowing that I was innocent in everything that I did because I didn't know any different. And so it's kind of an interesting journey finding, where you belong in this experience. And especially because I'm noticing that since I was a little girl, I've always been able to figure out how to manipulate things to get my needs met externally. And so now when I get in these places, these slumps where I'm feeling stuck, I know that there's something that I'm not looking at or that I'm not finding. And I was signed up for two 12-week courses. I had a co-ed course and a women's course, and it just ended last week. And so I'm on my own until July. I'm going to go to a retreat in July, but I'm on my own in learning right now. And I want to make sure that I'm going to be pushing myself forward and continuing to dig into the things that are holding me back and the reasons that I'm holding on to this weight. And so I really felt strongly that I needed to do something differently. So I'm going to invite you to all read a book with me. I'm going to read The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And the book is broken to 5 different parts. And so next week, I'm going to read part 1. I think I'm going to dig deep into it and start doing my own work by reading books and seeing how I can apply it to myself. So the description on the book, it says, what would it be like to free yourself from limitations and soar beyond your boundaries? What can you do each day to discover inner peace and serenity? The Untethered Soul offers a simple yet profound answer to these questions. Whether this is your first exploration of inner space or you've devoted your life to the inward journey, this book will transform your relationship with yourself and the world around you. You'll discover what you can do to put an end to the habitual thoughts and emotions that limit your consciousness. By tapping into traditions of meditation and mindfulness, the author shows how the development of consciousness can enable us all to dwell in the present moment and let go of painful thoughts and memories that keep us from achieving happiness and self-realization. The Untethered Soul begins by walking you through your relationship with your thoughts and emotions, helping you uncover the source of fluctuations of your inner energy. It then delves into what you can do to free yourself from habitual thoughts, emotions, and energy patterns that limit your consciousness. Finally, with perfect clarity, this book opens the door to a life lived in the freedom of your innermost being. I'm excited about reading this book. It's been one of those that I've had on Audible for a while that I haven't picked up yet. I'll post on my Instagram and invite all of you to read this book with me for the next 5 weeks. Let's learn what we can from this book, and then maybe we'll continue on reading books and never stop learning something new. And I think that I've been feeling really stuck because I'm closed off to learning something new. And I don't want to be closed off. If you guys have been listening from the beginning, you know that my dad has been a real pivotal person in my life, and he's always protected me and saved me from a lot of things. And he's always been there for me, but it's been a source of contention with my husband and I because I have not learned to depend on myself or learned to let go of my dad emotionally and depend on my husband the way that he deserved. It's been quite a few months when I called my dad on the phone and I said, Dad, it's time for me to move out of this house. And I know I've mentioned this before, but we were going to live in this house temporarily till we got on our feet. It was supposed to be a year or less, and it's ended up being 15 years. And it's mentally, spiritually, and emotionally been really hard for my husband and I and our family to be in this home, knowing that we are it's been hard for us to be in this house because of that relationship that I've had with my dad. I called my dad and I told him that we're going to be moving out of this house. And at first he didn't believe me because I've been wanting to get out of his house for a long time and it's just not working out. But the universe is assisting us to get out of this house because some things happen where my dad needs to move back into this home. And then he calls me and says, okay, I'm going to trust that you really are going to move out. And so I feel like I know that this is meant to be for us, but it's going to be a big change for me. I'm going to be moving out of this home that I've been comfortable in. And we're going to be moving into a trailer on property about 40 minutes away. And we're going to have a plan of building our own home together. And it's going to be an adventure. I feel very calm that it is exactly what that my family needs. And I am so excited for what it means for my husband and I, for us to be moving out of my dad's house with this new awareness that I have and being able to look at him with the eyes of gratitude and love that he's always deserved, but I didn't always see it that way. So I'm excited about what's going to come, but it's also going to be hard. But I realize that as I'm staying comfortable, like staying in this house, I've been physically comfortable, but it hasn't helped me grow at all in any other way. And I've stayed stuck and I've just got heavier. And so I'm looking forward to see what getting out of this comfort zone and pushing myself into something unknown and being able to bond with my husband and my family and build something together. I'm excited to see what we learn and how we grow from it. So there are a lot of things, there are a lot of challenges and hard things and amazing things that are going to be coming up. And I'm going to share all of that with you on here on this podcast. And I really feel strongly about reading this book and continuing my own learning, even though I don't have a mentor right now. So I would love to invite you to read the first part of The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, and let's talk about it. I'm going to take really good notes and really dig deep into each of those sections and see what I can teach you, what I can teach myself, and how we can get to this place of peace. And for me, the untethered soul, like I've had a lot of people who are in the energy world say that I have so many cords from, like my stomach to my dad. There's a lot of really hard, really thick cords that I have a hard time letting go of. And so I am very excited about what I will learn and how I can free myself from all of the limitations that I've created inside of my mind. And also knowing that it's possible for all of us to learn how to have a freer experience and to start questioning our thoughts. And just because it's something we think or something that we feel doesn't mean that it's true. I will talk to you guys next week and we will dig into the first part of The Untethered Soul. And I hope that you guys will read it too, and that the things that I'm sharing will continue to touch your heart and will motivate you to want to do your own inner work. Because even though I am sharing my experience, each one of us have something. For me, it's my weight, but each of us have something that we struggle with that we're not willing to look at. And it may not be as visual as it is for me, but what I'm learning in my journey is that it's all universal. Like all the truths are the same. They're just packaged in a different way so that other people can understand it, because we are all coming from our own experiences and our own understanding. And if I can teach somebody the way that my heart speaks. Maybe it will speak to you and maybe it won't. Maybe I won't make any sense to you. I have not been really good about finishing books. I will start books and then I won't finish them. And I want to be better about doing the things that I say I'm going to do and to be able to trust myself and build that relationship where I know I'm going to do it. And it's not just for this podcast, it's not just for you, but to know that I'm going to do it for myself, because I don't want to stay stuck in this place where I'm numb and I'm not knowing how to move forward. I would love it if you would take a minute to review my podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, if you could subscribe and like this or comment. I would love to hear any of your questions. And I'm so grateful for your support and for you being here and listening. It helps me keep going. It helps me keep searching for answers, and it helps me be motivated to continue sharing like I am. Because it's not always easy. Sometimes I want to go inside a hole and not share anymore because of the expectations that I have for myself. So we will talk to you guys next week about the untethered soul.